Hey YouTube, it's your girl Razia J, and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time landing on my channel, seeing my face, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you have been rocking with Ray, thank you so much for your continual support. It means the world to me. I say this every time. This channel will be nothing without you. So thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for those thumbs up, because we're letting YouTube know that what I'm talking about is needed and necessary on this platform. And if you have not yet followed me on TikTok, I encourage you guys to do that. When I'm missing from YouTube, I am on TikTok. TikTok is so addicting, guys. I'm having so much fun, and I shouldn't say the word addictive. TikTok is where it's at. I'm having so much fun on that platform, and if you want to keep up with me when I'm not recording YouTube videos, that's where I am. I will drop that handle somewhere on the screen. But I wanted to say happy social work month to all my social workers out there. It is March 2023 and it's social work month. So happy social work month to you guys. It's really important that we hype ourselves up this month, because if ain't nobody else gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. This is not one of those things where we're like, get somebody else to do it. No, we're going to hype ourselves up, and we're going to encourage those that are in our lives, whether they're colleagues, whether they're people that have interdisciplinary degrees that work alongside us, whether it's our families, our friends, to hype us up this month, because it's our month. It's our month. So happy social work month to my social workers and my social work students. Here on this channel, we talk about all things family, faith, and social work. We talk about family, we talk about my faith, but we definitely dabble in a lot more about social work, because that's something that's important to me. So this video is going to be some skills that I believe every social worker should possess. If you are a social worker, this is a skill that I think you should have, and it's a no-brainer. Why not put this video out during social work month to help you fine-tune those skills and elevate them? So if you want to know what skills I believe each and every social worker should possess naturally and through learning, you can cultivate some of these skills. Stay tuned. Okay, guys. So there's two types of skills that I want to discuss today. I want to discuss soft skills and hard skills. Hard skills are defined as abilities that let you tackle job-specific duties and responsibilities. So hard skills are usually skills that you can learn over time, skills that you cultivate, skills that you get trained on, skills that you take time to become an expert in, because they are required for your day-to-day work activities. And some of those skills are learned through academia. So if you are a current student, some of these skills you are going to learn. They're learned through your peer interactions. So if you are in your classes, you might see that a classmate in your cohort does things one way versus the way you do it. And you might think to yourself, aha, I should probably try to do it that way, because that sounds more efficient. And they're also learned through your professors. So outside of just learning things to regurgitate and to pass exams and to write papers, when you are in your classes as a social work student, you are going to be mirroring some key hard skills that you need as a professional social worker. And they're also learned through your colleagues. So you may not consider yourself a social worker yet as a social work student, but you do have people that are going to be your colleagues one day. And those are the people that you are in class with. Those are the people that are also interning at your internship. Those are the people that are supervising you at your internship. Those are social workers all over the globe. So if you follow a social worker on these social media streets and you like a way that they do something, they're your colleagues essentially. So hard skills are skills that you're learned. Hard skills are skills that are learned, and they're skills that you can cultivate. They're skills that you can practice over time to become an expert. And they're also skills that allow you to do your day-to-day tasks a lot easier. A lot of the skills that I think every social worker should have, I believe, are transferable skills, but they may not come very easy to you naturally. You don't wake up and just know how to create a PowerPoint unless you are Einstein, maybe. So I do have some skills written down that I believe every social worker should embody. And these are some of the hard skills that I think we all need as social workers. The first one, in no particular order, I would say is the ability to use technology. We are in 2023, guys. If you cannot log on to Zoom, if you cannot put a case note using a computer, if you don't know how to email people, if you don't know how to use anything outside of a flip phone, you might have a problem entering into this profession in 2023, because a lot of things are done through technology, telehealth, remote work opportunities, charting, getting paid by insurance. There are so many things that you need to know how to do just using technology. That if that's not something that comes easy to you, you can definitely take some courses, but that's a hard skill that you need. Technology is definitely one of those hard skills. Another hard skill that you would need as a social worker, if I'm being quite honest, is the ability to research. And that plays on technology. Like, can you look something up? Can you gather information and understand what it is that you're gathering and break it down into palatable, bite-sized chunks for someone else? Are you a researcher? And that's not something that you have to be a natural at, but can you learn the key skills to researching so that you can make your day-to-day life easier? Another thing that I think is important for every social worker to have, and this is a hard skill, is communication. Are you able to communicate effectively? Can you get your point across? Are people left confused when they speak to you? Are you not clear and concise? Do people not know what's going on when you open your mouth? Now, I'm not saying that you have to be the world's best speaker, because I am not. But something that I'm practicing, and I think that YouTube is allowing me to practice a lot more, is how I communicate. Am I taking my time? Am I thinking about what I want to say next? And am I allowing myself to place the words in the right order so people can get what I'm saying? So that's another hard skill. I think that you also need time management. If you are a therapist, if you are an admin, if you are in any field in social work, micro, meso, macro, you need to have time management skills. How do you manage your time? How do you plan? How do you execute? How do you goal set? Not just for your clients and for the tasks that you're doing for programs, but how do you goal set on a day-to-day basis? Like, are you able to keep time and the track of time? And that's another skill that you can work on. Like, you can become more productive. Productivity is another hard skill that you need as a social worker. Like, are you producing, right? Are you allowing things to be done at the last minute and not your best work? That might be a problem if you are entering into the if you're entering into the field of social work, right? You need to be able to produce. You need to be able to time yourself. You need to be able to map out your day to day and get things done in an efficient way. And you're supposed to be able to meet deadlines. So time management is something else that you need to work on. And I would say that, are you able to work with certain, what you call them things? Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, Microsoft programs. Are you able to learn how to use Microsoft programs? You're not going to necessarily learn in graduate school how to use Excel on a high level, or even how to compile a PowerPoint. But if you are a social worker and you ever desire to do presentations or to present anywhere or to teach a class or to run a workshop, you're going to have to use a PowerPoint. If you are a social worker and you need to track stuff, right? You need to schedule things in a way where you're able to see, like, okay, I have $1,000 in my budget and how I'm going to utilize that effectively. If you need to have any form of data, right, you need to know how to use Excel. So those are some of the hard skills. And I forgot this one, but if you are going to be doing data work, you need to be able to analyze that data. And that's a hard skill that you can learn as a social worker, but these are skills that I believe you need in the profession. And now we're going to move on to some soft skills. I'm going to pull up my definition because I'm not just going to be rambling, but I wanted to give you guys some soft skills that you also need, not just hard skills, but some soft ones. Soft skills are defined as interpersonal skills, communication skills. How are you socially? How do you interact with people? Soft skills are skills that are naturally part of your makeup, right? You're naturally an introvert, you're naturally an extrovert. Who are you naturally, right? Like I said earlier, hard skills are skills that you can cultivate. Soft skills are kind of skills that you are born with. These are things that embody you as an individual. And I think for every social worker out there, you need to have active listening skills, right? Are you able to listen to someone that's speaking to you and gather what they're saying and understand it? And not just listening to talk back or to have a response, but to actually like process what this person is saying. So I think social workers need to have active listening. You need to have empathy. Can you empathize with someone? Not necessarily say, I've been in your shoes and I know how you're feeling, but can you feel for people, even if it's a circumstance that you are not familiar with, something that you did not go through, but can you empathize? Another thing that's important as a social worker, and I think that this is a soft skill, some people might fight me on it, but are you culturally aware and competent? So are you able to interact with a diverse group of people culturally and not offend anyone? And that's a hard one because sometimes we don't see the things that we say or we do or some of our gestures as offensive, right? So if you are going to be a social worker, some of your skills need to be empathy, and you just have to be able to be culturally aware and sensitive. Like, don't offend people with the things that you do and the actions that you take. Another thing you need is self-awareness. As a social worker, if you are not self-aware, you are going to find yourself in a tight pickle because one, you won't be able to set boundaries. Two, you won't align your goals with things that work for you naturally. You will just be doing things and you won't have like this grasp on yourself so that you can better help your clients or better serve the population that you work with. Or even if you're a macro social worker, you won't be able to say like, you know what, I need to take a step back because this is a little bit too much for me if you're not self-aware. So this is a skill that I think every social worker needs, self-awareness. Another one is, are you a team player? Like, how well do you work on a team? Social workers, even if you're in private practice, you are going to have to be on somebody's team at some point of the game, right? You may be in private practice as you become a seasoned social worker with years of experience, but you're not going to start off by yourself in this solo bubble, just doing things for yourself. So I do believe that every social worker needs to be a team player. Are you able to work for a team? There's no I in team. Just like there's no I in social work, there is an I in social work. I kid. But there's no I in team. So are you a team player? And another one is, are you positive? Are you naturally a positive person? Now, I'm not saying that you can't have days that you're gloomy. You can't, deal with struggles. You can't have a day where you're down and out. But are you generally a positive person? I think to be in any helping profession, you need to be a positive person that has a positive outlook on life, a person that's optimistic, not a person who's that's pessimistic. That's it's not going to get better. It's always going to be like that. I think to be a social worker, you have to be optimistic. You have to have hope. And you have to have a level of understanding that things can change. It doesn't matter how fast it changes, but things can change. And there are some skills that I believe are middle baseline skills, right? They're not necessarily skills that you are born with, but they're not necessarily skills that you can only learn. They're like middle skills. And I think I just made that up. So if you hear somebody saying this is a middle skill on a resume, they got it here first. And middle skills to me is like motivational interviewing, learning to interview well, and I guess that falls under communication. But I think as a social worker, you need to know how to interview people. You need to know how to pull things out of people. You need to know how to ask the right questions to get the right answer. I also think as a social worker, you need to just be dope, right? Who wants a boring social worker? I think that as a social worker, being dope should be a prerequisite, right? Because as a dope person, people will gravitate to you. people will want to listen to you. You need to have what I call the sphere of influence. How are you influencing people? I think all social workers should be able to influence others with their words, with their actions, with their lifestyles, with their accolades, even with your degrees. Like, are you influential? Like, are people looking to you like, oh, what's she doing next? So these are some of the skills that I think every social worker should have. And if you enjoyed this video and you stayed to the very end, give me a red heart down below, or maybe a blue one. Red or blue. Drop me a heart down below if you watched this entire video. And thank you so much for watching. And again, happy Social Work Month. And I hope you guys have an amazing Social Work Month.